Imagine you're on a medieval battlefield. You're looking at a castle with walls that look impregnable. Nothing could get through them. You've been there for months. You're hungry. You're tired. You need a miracle. Not really. What you need is a bunch of really big rocks thrown really hard. That's where trebuchets come in. It's 1304 England. King Edward I is trying to quash what's remaining of the Scottish rebellion. The Scottish loyalists were holding up at Stirling Castle. After multiple attempts to breach the walls failed, King Edward decided that it was time to go big or go home. So he commissioned the building of the Warwolf, the largest trebuchet ever made. In fact, it took so long to build that the Scots actually surrendered before it was completed. They still fired it though. See, trebuchets can be great at getting stuff over walls, but if you make them big enough, they can bring down the wall. While the design details have varied throughout the centuries, all trebuchets share a few things in common. First is a frame to hold everything up and together. Now, on that frame is an arm that is mounted so that it will rotate about the top of the frame. Now, this arm has a short end and a long end. On the short end is applied a counterweight. This is usually a box full of anything from sand to lead. On the long end is a sling with a projectile in it. At the tip, the sling is attached at one point and hanging on to a hook at another. Now, in order for it to be fired, this arm is released. The counterweight pulls down, causing the arm to rotate and the sling to swing. When at the right place, the end of the sling will slide off of the hook, releasing the projectile.
To understand why trebuchets are so powerful, we need to wrap our heads around two ideas. The first is gravitational potential energy. Gravitational potential energy is the energy stored in an object based on its height in relation to a gravitational field. For our purpose, it's the energy stored when you raise the counterweight. The formula for gravitational potential energy is just gravitational potential energy equals mass times the acceleration due to gravity times height, where acceleration due to gravity is just a constant, which in metric is 9.81 meters per second squared. From this equation, we can determine that gravitational potential energy increases when the mass increases and when the height increases. Now, the other idea is kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is the energy from an object's motion. It's basically the energy generated when it's moving. The equation for it is kinetic energy equals 1/2 mass times velocity squared. Like gravitational potential energy, kinetic energy relies in part on an object's mass. If you double the mass and keep the same velocity, the kinetic energy doubles. In the kinetic energy formula, though, kinetic energy increases proportional to the square of velocity. This means if you double the velocity, its kinetic energy increases 4 times. One design decision that has to be made with every trebuchet is where on the arm to put the pivot point. When you're choosing that, you need to factor in a couple of things. The first is leverage. The further the counterweight is from the pivot point, the greater leverage it has. In order for you to make the counterweight part of the arm longer, though, the sling end of the arm must get shorter. The problem with that is that while the torque is greater, the actual speed will decrease past a certain point because the tip of the arm isn't moving as fast. The rule of thumb is to have the long end of the arm about 4 times as long as the short end. Part of the brilliance of the trebuchet is its inclusion of a sling. This allows you to increase the effective length of the lever arm without actually making the arm longer. When it's fired and the sling is pulled tight and starts rotating about the tip of the arm, it creates a double pendulum effect. This adds velocity for the projectile. Now, you need to find a balance when it comes to the arm length.
So the equation for gravitational potential energy in our example is m1, which is the mass of the counterweight, times g, which is the acceleration due to gravity, which is just a constant, 9.81 meters per second squared. And you multiply that by the height. Now, we're trying to convert the general gravitational potential energy into kinetic energy. So we're going to have to find out how much of the gravitational potential energy has actually changed. So to do that, we look at the height before launch and the height when the projectile is released. The difference in those heights is the height up here. So to find the change in gravitational potential energy, you just do the mass times acceleration due to gravity and the difference in the two heights. So we're trying to get some kinetic energy, which is the energy from an object's motion. The equation for kinetic energy is 1/2 mass times velocity squared. In this case, mass is going to be the mass of the projectile, and velocity is going to be the velocity of the projectile. Now, it's not a perfect conversion from gravitational potential energy to kinetic energy. Trebuchets can be efficient, but they are far from 100% efficient. So we're adding an efficiency factor here, which for us is going to be 10%. Now, I'd like to find the velocity of the projectile. So I rearranged this equation with a little bit of math and got velocity on its own. For our example, we're using 10% as the efficiency, 100 kilograms as the mass of the projectile, 1,000 kilograms as the mass of the counterweight, and 3 meters as the difference in the heights. So we just plug all these in, and eventually we get 7.67 meters per second. That's not bad. So today we covered trebuchets and catapults and the physics behind them. We talked about how you can convert from one form of energy, like gravitational potential energy, into another form, like kinetic energy. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any ideas for future videos, leave them in the comments, and make sure to share with friends if you like it. See you in the next video.